Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the On the Chain community? Today, we are going to talk about cryptocurrency. We're going to
Are
talk
we,
about
Jeff? Jeez, I thought the show was all about. I thought the show was going to be about Elon Musk and
it.
Twitter going to X.
We're-
It's not. You mean it's not?
It isn't. We're going to
Oh,
talk.
okay.
You know why we're going to talk about Twitter and going to X.com? Because everybody else in the world's talking about it. That's it.
Oh.
Now we've talked about it. Gasparino is on the attack against Judge Torres's ruling on XRP. He actually attacked the ruling, said it was wrong, and a bunch of other things. We're going to dig into that. And will there be an SEC appeal against the Torres ruling? Because they keep doubling down on that as well. We have some interesting commentary from John Deaton on that note, saying, slow down, not going to happen yet. And we'll get into the details of why he said it, what he says, and X.com.
All right. Well, on that note, Jeff, we ought to kick this off. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome
Jeff,
to-
the best part about doing the show is like we'll tease something in the title. And then for whatever reason, probably because we talk too much, we never get to it. It's like the best thing ever. It's like, we never got to that story. We meant to get to that story. We never quite got to that story, but that's all right. But everybody drop in where you are coming in from. Exciting week ahead. It's always going to be an exciting week ahead if you're an optimist. If you're a pessimist, an alchemist, I'm not saying many names, but it's just suppose some people don't think it's going to be a good week ahead. I don't know.
It's going to be a great week ahead. And there's
Alchemist
people
is making
within
me-
the optimist.
He wants to know, Alchemist wants to know if we're going to finally stop defending Charlie Gasparino. I'm not defending him. I never defended him. I hit him hard with some tweets there, Alchemist. You got to wake up a little bit earlier in the morning if you're going to see that. And we've displayed the tweets here. I had fun with it. He wants to troll. I had some fun trolling. Weird no response to my trolling.
But we will review the article that he just wrote because on so many different levels.
What did he say about Torres?
And Baldwinsville, New York. That's what we have to say. Australia. We got all sorts of people coming in. I was really disappointed about his commentary on Judge Torres.
Do you have it, Jeff?
I do have it. I do have it.
I didn't pay attention to it. Go ahead and pull it up because I honestly didn't.
You did not pay attention to the best article of the century. He should get
because I didn't care.
a Pulitzer. He should get a Pulitzer Prize for writing this. It was so clearly written. And it was so filled, it was so deeply researched that, when you break it down, it was the perfect article to cover so much. It covered so much. And what's up with all these people on YouTube trying to connect the dots between Twitter, X.com, and Ripple XRP? I can't figure that part out, Chip. For the life of me,
Why can't
I
Jeff
don't understand the dot connecting.
Jeff, if I could point a couple channels your way and you'd be like, they connect imaginary dots to imaginary dots that are connected back to some other imaginary dots that are like in a complete different library book, shelf and book. It's mind-boggling. Got so much stuff wrong. I mean, at least I can say this, Jeff, that we did get a lot of stuff right, most of it right. However, I will say this, Jeff, that we did get something wrong. And that was yesterday's show. We did talk about the Australian bank that was using Ripple, and it was just a garbage story. We usually have time to confirm with a couple different sources. We cut that out of yesterday's video. And thanks for Crypto Eddie, who is a top-notch researcher. She did come up with the fact that was a garbage, story. But Jeff, we should have had our Spidey senses going on when we realized that they were blocking transactions. We should have known something was up. That they're blocking.
You're blocking transactions and you're trying to work with them all at the same time. That it's kind of there was definitely some issue over there in regard to all that good stuff. And Jim D's late, and one demerit for Jim D.
This is not like Jim D. This is he's like, well, you guys just started you start 8 minutes late. We started 7 minutes late today.
We did start a little bit late.
We're here on time.
Because we were having conversations backstage.
We're talking a lot, and that's usually what ends up happening. So that's why you see that. Go ahead.
I was trying to find a nice way to put this up there so I didn't have to look at this article on Barbie, but it didn't work. It's still there. And so anyhow,
There's something called Zoom, Jeff.
yeah, but then when I zoomed in, then I'm trying to get all crazy here with the thing, but that's all right.
Where's the rest of the story? Is that it?
This is it. That's all we're going to talk. We're just going to talk about the headline.
I don't see anything else. Everything's a blank slate.
It's just a blank slate. That's it. Fill in the dots.
What in the hell?
You get to write the story for yourselves. You kind of imagine what would go along with this headline. So Charlie Gasparino over here said, crazy crypto ruling, judge shaking up the $1 trillion market. Now he goes into crazy. I'm trying to figure out, and I kind of read through the whole thing, and really what I want to do is start at the bottom of the article and then work our way through it all the way to the top, because as he kind of summarizes the article, and here's how he ends the article. So in the meantime, the crypto industry will have to live with one of the more bizarre and dangerous court rulings I've ever seen in covering finance for 3 decades. Right. So that's kind of how he ends it. He gets into some of the commentary or some of the one of the decisions recently by Supreme Court Justice Jackson. Then he gets into Torres, and he's really, going down into the fact that they were both appointed by one by the current administration, one by a previous administration under Obama, and that's Torres. But when we look at the rulings, the question is, and the way
that one right there, Antony Jackson, that's one of the biggest nutcases in the history to serve on any court. How she made it through in confirmation after learning a lot of the stuff that she thought was okay is absolutely mind blowing, Jeff. I'm not going to get into it, but
it is really shocking, but he tries to draw a parallel between what she recently ruled on and then trying to pull Torres into it as well, to say, is Torres basically going to be doing the same thing? And, he kind of referenced some of the things that one of the things that she recently ruled on. But if we get back into, let's go to the top of his article here. And he says here, we're taught to revere the judiciary because driving legal truth is supposed to be heady stuff. We probably shouldn't. And then he gets here into, some of the things that Supreme Court
wait. I want to don't browse over this. I haven't read this. I want to see what the hell he's talking about.
Okay, so here he's saying, for evidence, witness the bizarre rationale provided by Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson to support affirmative action for high-risk Black newborns. She wrote in her dissent on the recent SCOTUS ruling, having a Black physician more than doubles the likelihood that the baby will live and not die. I would love to see the research on that doozy. So she made some commentary.
It's already been disproven. So
right, yeah. So right, so he brings that up. I don't understand why he had to bring this into this.
What does that have to do with? What does that have to do with the Torres, though?
It has nothing at all to do with it, and he's trying to provide evidence of another judge that provided kind of strange rulings, and he's trying to put a parallel between the two of them, and he's completely off base, and you have to give credit when credit's due. And in Judge Torres's case, when it came to this Ripple case, the SEC v. Ripple, the way that she provided outcome and ruling on XRP, and then how Ripple sold it versus how individuals bought it, it was pretty spot on. And Deaton has some commentary on this as well, so we can get into that. So here I don't like the way he's writing this, mainly because the outcome provided clarity for XRP, right? And it pushes and she has some statement that, in fact, in her comment, that Ripple was selling XRP in the early stages to institutional buyers, and that would be deemed a security. Now that still has to be decided in court. And so that court case will, potentially continue down the road. And so when it comes to XRP, as we all know, she said it's not a security. So what was confusing to Gasparino? Why is he saying it's so wacky? Here he says, Judge Torres, of course, didn't say those exact words, but you don't need to be a legal scholar to decipher the upshot on her weird decision
Oh,
that's
no, Jeff, excuse
roiling
me.
the $1.2 trillion crypto market.
Jeff, let me just break in there for a second. The reason he doesn't understand is because he's not a legal scholar and he doesn't understand the interpretation of Howey and the 4 prongs. He's like Bill Hinman and said, well, I just thought any of the prongs once. It was a security if any of the prongs fit. So he's like, you don't have to be a legal scholar, Charlie. You have to have an understanding of the Howey test and the law. And Torres faithfully interpreted this, Jeff. Sorry to interrupt you there, but this is shocking. Like he's talking about you don't have to be a legal scholar.
Right. And when we sat down and deciphered the whole thing or broke down the case with John Deaton, and John Deaton was pretty satisfied with the, overall outcome, and explained how the judge kind of came to, specific decision. We have, an entire hour plus on that. He gets into how, and some of the things that he's saying is, yes, do we need to have, clear regulation? Yes, we do. And guess what? It's moving in that direction. But here he said it involves the digital asset token XRP utilized and sold by a crypto company named Ripple. And it's further proof that judges can be acutely witless. More important, that Congress needs to take crypto regulation out of the hands of the judiciary ASAP and fix this possible transformative business before it moves to places where there's more rational regulations like China. Now, he brings up a good point. Should the judiciary be the one settling this, or should it be through a congressional act? Of course, Congress should act on this, but they haven't, and now we have a ruling on it.
And I recall somewhere in maybe it was December of 2020 or January of 2021 where you and I said that this might be the quickest path to clarity.
Correct.
Check, correct. Everyone laughed. And I got a little nervous when I thought it would last about a year. Then we hit 2 years. Then we hit 2.5 years. Honestly, I never thought it would have taken that long. But Jeff,
Right.
This article is all over the place. It makes zero sense what he's talking about.
It really is. And I'm not going to reference any of Judge Torres's other rulings because they could be completely off base. But this one and this outcome, so he gets into it further. To get a better understanding of this mess, let's go back to around 2012 when Ripple, no relation to the cheap wine people used to drink back in the day, unveiled its cross-border payment system that uses blockchain tech to facilitate faster transactions. It's basically a crypto version of SWIFT used by banks to transfer money across the globe. Right, exactly. So understanding that SWIFT is a language, is a messaging service platform, and part of RippleNet is the messaging service. The other part of RippleNet provides full streamlined settlement of currency and beyond using the ODL. So yeah, RippleNet is much more than what SWIFT is. I guess if you want to dummy it down to the basics, you could say that, but he should put a statement in there and put a little caveat that in fact Ripple and RippleNet provides full settlement, and it's a modernized version that one little component of RippleNet is what SWIFT is. So he gets into this chip. The trouble began around 2017 when Ripple, which also created the digital coin XRP, another relatively
They did not.
Fact. So
another fact, another proven misconception, wrong.
Right, began selling tons of it.
God Almighty, this is just a train wreck.
Some proceeds went into financing Ripple's platform execs who had XRP sold as well. Some of these sales were to big investors, so-called institutions, company officials like its CEO Brad Garlinghouse and its founder Chris Larson. And the company itself also sold additional XRP to small investors, not directly, but pumping the stuff through crypto exchanges. Pumping it through crypto exchanges.
It's the sad part of this thing. What really highlights is that when you think you're doing something really clever and all you're doing is demonstrating how little you know about this is so many different subjects. Like you could just Google like who created the token XRP, and it would say that it was originally created as open coin, right? I mean, Jeff, it's like it can take 5 minutes to Google it. You can just do a little bit of research on this. He doesn't understand the difference between the whole idea that Torres got this right was on a blind bid, which he basically said is a secondary market. You didn't know who you were buying it from. The Howey test, there has to be an expectation of profit from whoever you're purchasing it from, right? How did you know who you're purchasing from? And those 3,000 notarized statements from the XRP community stated that they didn't even know who Ripple was. They didn't give a crap who Ripple was. They probably still don't care who Ripple is, but the whole idea of this, like these are just easy concepts. And what I don't understand is that because somebody has such a strong belief that they're willing to suspend any sort of like logic and reason and faithfulness to upholding listen, Gary wanted litigation, enforcement by litigation. He got it in a big way, and it took a big loss. And nobody, including the Bitcoin maxis, can handle this. And they don't even understand how this is great for the crypto world at large, Jeff. That's the best part.
And well, it's even more shocking that Gasparino's been around the block. It's shocking that he's been prodding the XRP community even after the victory. It's shocking that he wrote this article without knowing the facts in their totality. It's shocking that he probably didn't read the case. He didn't read the outcome of the case in its entirety, go through everything. He hasn't, put any comparative with the Howey test. He hasn't read into the full use case that is Ripple. He hasn't read into the formation of Ripple and the formation of XRP to differentiate. And maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. But why are you writing this article that's published in the New York Post and getting in? And he tries to put a little bit of funny to it and putting the spin. And he's trying to be a little bit of this, a little of that. And, so here Chippy gets into the cost of doing business. The way security laws traditionally work, when a company like Apple does something like this via private placement or selling pre-IPO shares, an IPO or a secondary offering of stock, they go to the SEC and file a bunch of stuff about their operation, depending on the type of sale. IPOs demand more disclosure than private placement. This can be time-consuming and expensive, but it's a cost of doing business. So the way I'm reading this, Chip, is he's basically saying that the way Ripple sold the XRP is essentially like Apple going pre-IPO and releasing shares, and that those shares would still be deemed a security.
I don't know what he's talking about, to be honest with you. I think Charlie lost the plot a long time ago. Like he's completely out of touch with reality. And the funny part of it was, even when he was interviewing Brad Garlinghouse, he didn't even know. He always demonstrates he doesn't know. He has a cursory glance at something, and then he listens to the wrong people. Like I can go off on Charlie in a different way because where he stands politically is an absolute joke. So it tells you a lot about who he is. So I mean, that's what I will say. He pretends to. And like there's so many great comments I'm putting on the screen here, Jeff. How about this one? Gasparino. Pop.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, yum. Ice cream's so good. Ice cream good. Let's do that, Jeff. I'll be willing to do that stuff for a whole hour. Just like show me throw ice cream and whiskey. I'll be super excited.
Whiskey.
Throw a super chat.
How about
chat's
whiskey
so good.
cream?
Super chat's so good. Yummy. I love super chats. This is ridiculous.
So
it brings up Kentanji Brown. I mean,
she has no reference. Her decision in that case has nothing to do. He's trying to prove that that we have two judges that were appointed by two previous or one current, Democrat president, one previous Democrat, and he's saying that they're both kind of off the reservation a little bit. But here you have Ripple didn't do that in selling all that XRP, and it's the reason why in 2020 the SEC sued the company and its top execs. I guess I stopped this part. Stocks find their way into hands of small investors who aren't plugged in like hotshots at the big Wall Street asset management firms, aka institutions. They have the CEO and CFO and speed dial. Average people who buy stock need to be able to see what the company is up to in a way that they can understand. The legal term of that is disclosure. So where does he stand on all this? Does he want full disclosure? Ripple wasn't doing that because XRP got to the secondary market. People buy XRP on the secondary market, and he's trying to now connect XRP back to Ripple to say that there's some sort of inner connection. So he's trying to now make the case for Gary Gensler. So here he said, I've spoken with both the SEC types who brought the case and Ripple officials, including Garlinghouse. Both make compelling arguments for why they did what they did. So obviously he spoke with Hinman. The SEC, according to Ripple, is picking crypto winners and losers. Other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum did similar stuff, and the SEC hasn't sued those guys. Plus, crypto is an animal of its own under law, can't be regulated like public companies. And then he talks about the SEC considering it the Wild West. Right. Then he has to say, recall the notorious SBF, the Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried is a figment that was created like within the past couple of years. So it's not like he's been around from the beginning of time of crypto. They inputted FTX and utilized FTX to try to topple the crypto market. So now here's where he gets into Torres. Torres' ruling, meanwhile, makes some of the most absurd legal arguments impacting securities law and now crypto regulation. Some of Ripple's XRP sales to those Wall Street fat cats were in fact securities and demand disclosure because they were so-called investment contracts, she declares. Weren't they? If you're selling to an institutional buyer and the institutional buyer is had a contract and they're expecting some sort of gain from that purchase.
I'm trying to know
what's an SEC type?
What's an SEC type, Jeff?
I don't know what an SEC type is, but maybe it's a Hinman. Maybe a Hinman is an SEC type.
Yeah, who knows really? I mean,
or a Clayton. A Clayton is Clayton. Clayton is an SEC type. Hinman's an SEC type. Gary Gensler's an SEC type.
Oh, Jeff, late breaking. Jackie's also late tonight.
Another one that's
with
late.
The lateness.
Man, come on now.
Oh, geez, you are late. That's I'm gonna give you 2 demerits. There you go.
Then she rules that Ripple's disclosure-free sales to small investors were totally kosher, according to her logic, because they purchased their XRP through an intermediary like an exchange. They were not entering into investment contracts. These blind sales aren't securities, so it's perfectly legal for Ripple to stiff the little guy in disclosure. Where does this guy stand? I mean, is he
completely
favor the crypto space? Does he understand the dynamics of what a digital asset is? Does he understand what a secondary market is? That Ripple wasn't the one selling it in the secondary market, that it's secondary market. It wasn't Ripple selling it through the exchange to the little guy, that they weren't the ones plugging it in.
And he's hung up. The thing is, he knows a couple terms from covering stock market for a long time. Remember, he came over from CNBC. Okay, any questions? I can't think of one. So Jeff, he's like, he says it right there. She rules that Ripple's disclosure free sales. First of all, what disclosure free sales and what is a disclosure free sale? It's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, where is there an investment contract with the blind bid? Who are you buying it from? You're buying it from, your neighbor down the street? Are you buying it from somebody over in Australia? Is it somebody over in Japan? Is it Ripple itself? Is it an exchange? It's sitting on the exchange? You don't know. But don't worry. Charlie needs disclosures. This guy is really,
in her words, both sides won, both lost. And no one, and now one really knows, and no one really knows how to proceed going forward.
They absolutely
really?
Do.
No one knows how to proceed going forward.
We all know.
Let's see.
Clarity.
We have XRP is not a security. It's sold in the secondary market. Those sold to institutional buyers could potentially be securities because she thinks they are securities.
By the way, they actually had a contract with Ripple. They purchased the contract. They purchased that with a contract. Now, the part you might disagree with,
directly from Ripple.
Directly from Ripple. However, the one part that I'm a little bit like not so much on is the fact that with an expectation of profit. I don't think you purchased institutional buyers bought it to use XRP. I'm not sure that institutional buyers bought it with an expectation of profit. So that part of the prong, I'm not sure that it connects. I mean,
right.
Speculation. Point was they did have an investment contract.
Well, that too, yeah. And so, and Brad Garlinghouse, the way they're putting it together is that in those instances of the institutional buy, there still wasn't There wasn't an investment contract, and there's a different approach. So we got to hear them out a little bit more of this. What may have escaped Torres and her law clerks is,
oh my God, stop.
Is that the vast majority of regular stock purchases on apps or from your broker are similarly blind. Yet Apple, like all public companies, provide lots of disclosure because, again, he's trying to connect the fact that XRP has something to do with Ripple, that it's that it's owned by them, that they're the ones
Correct.
selling it, that
Correct.
it's
This
tied
is the
back to
part
them.
he cannot grasp this concept of decentralization. And the reason he's confused because Ripple owns about at least half of the supply. However, Ripple they did not create it. Okay, they inherited it. It was gifted to them. Number one, like he misses that big thing. Also, two, he doesn't understand how consensus works and how it works with the validator nodes. That Ripple owns like 4%. It's less than 5%, somewhere between 3 and 5%. Has zero voice in the say. And if somebody wanted to burn all their supply, they could put it up for a vote, and the supply could get burnt. Like he just doesn't have the concept of decentralization. He thinks Apple and Apple stock is the same. He thinks Ripple and XRP is the same, and this is the same as a maxi. And it doesn't matter how many times you explain it to him, but if you can't grasp the idea of decentralization, that it does not rely on a person, does not rely on an organization. That's the whole beauty of decentralization, Jeff. It does not rely on a particular company. But I want to bring up this good point right here. Look at this right here. You want disclosure, Fernando says? What about ETH, the ICO, disguised whales? What about that? There's something right there. I actually think they could potentially go after them next, quite honestly.
Yeah, but that would have been more interesting in the article. Yeah, and I'm all about, you want to go after an Obama judge appointee, an Obama appointed judge, or a Biden appointed judge, and you want to dig into their records and do all that stuff. I'm all in favor of that. From a political perspective, you want to go out, you want to write an article politically, motivated and slanted and talked about, and you want to get into why they shouldn't be in the positions that they're in because of XYZ, fine. But the fact that he's trying to bring this into this decision, because you have to look at Judge Torres's decision. Overall, good outcome of the case. It gave clarity to XRP. The SEC is fumbling right now. They're spinning the wheels. They botched this. They've botched it for the past 2 years. The fact that Gasparino doesn't understand exactly why he doesn't understand the topic here. I'm not happy about the fact that he's also saying that there has to be some method to her madness, that she doesn't understand how she ruled, that she's not, that somehow she's mad, and she's having a crazy outcome similar to Jackson's statements, previously. And so here, and look at why bring this in here. How is this relevant to this case? Talk about Ethereum. Talk about everything else.
We have a lot more stuff to talk about. It's just dumb.
It is dumb.
Like we talked about that for almost half the show. It's ridiculous. But I wanted to say something important here.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Look who's here. Case Bashir. Case says, why does it feel like the Hinman emails have been downplayed by all of media? Well, because it has been downplayed of all of media. I mean, that's exactly it. But on an important note here, and I hope am I saying that right? Put the pronunciation of your name. Is it Case? I'm probably saying it wrong. Maybe it's not Case. Maybe it's Caius. Caius was a cool band for the 90s, by the way. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, but Case, I want to tell you this. K-E-I-S, I want to tell you this. Look at this. There's your suggestion. You got to reach out to us. We will send you one of these. You said, I remember sending a chat like within a week. You said, like, hey, how about instead of Return of the Jedi, why don't we have Return of the XRP? Well, there it is. It's live on the chain.shop. On the chain.shop, SEC Wars, Return of the XRP. Beautifully pairs up really well with SEC Ripple Strikes Back. So SEC Wars, Ripple Strikes Back. And it's a lovely shirt. We also have this available, if you guys are wondering, because I know we have also have a lot of it's also in a, there it is, got a woman's cut too. So you don't have to wear some big baggy horrible shirt. And it comes in a multitude of colors.
I think Case gave us his Twitter. Did he DM us? Did he email us?
I think he did. Look at this. Look at this woman's
waiting
cut
on
shirt. Comes in a lot of beautiful colors over here. Yeah, so there you go.
All right, we got to get Case a one of those shirts.
You got to get him one of those shirts.
And it is Case with a K, spelled with a Q.
Case. So are we seeing it right, Case? Just say yes or no. And we're saying just like an up or a down. Give us an emoji. We'll get something in there.
Let's get him a shirt.
We'll get you the shirt, man. But here it is right here. If you guys want to grab this stunner, and on the back it also says got this little beauty in the back there on the chain.io.
That's sweet.
So front and back design right there. Again, goes all the way up to 3XL. Comes in a couple different colors here, which is awesome. Look at that beauty right there. Beauty. It's a beauty, Jeff. Okay.
Tom once won with Genzer wearing a Spaceballs helmet.
Jeez. Anyway, let's jump into some Ripple news. There's a lot of cool Ripple news we need to cover tonight. Charlie Gasparino, I'm done with him. I'm done with you, Charlie. Here we go. So Brad Garlinghouse had tweeted this out. An important topic has come up about protecting retail. The SEC created this mess by proclaiming it was the cop on the beat when it had no legal jurisdiction. Where's that gotten us? Consumers left holding the bag in bankruptcy court while the SEC holds press conferences. Ooh, quite the statement, man.
Holy shit. Like, let's not do that. That's a bad idea.
Alderoty said a securities agency only has jurisdiction over securities. Not a security, no role for the SEC. With Jeff, we've been making this point up and down forever and a day.
Oh my God, for like 2 years.
Which is why we do not like the FIT bill, this new FIT, financial
innovation, technology, financial innovation and technology for the 21st century.
Because they wanted to go to the SEC to decide whether or not it's a security. How about you assume it's not a security, send it to the CFTC, and if they deem it's a security, they'll pass it over to the nutters over there at the SEC. But it shouldn't be the opposite way. That's poorly done. So there we have that one. And then we got this other one too. Let's see. Here we go. Rahul Advani. He is public policy over at Ripple. And here we go. There he is. Rahul Advani. Public policy over at Ripple. Opinions his own. Jeez, who's just like sounds a little bit like sounds a little like the SEC now, doesn't it? They're my own opinions, but
is this your opinions? Don't hold them against everybody else.
Is this his own opinion, or is this it says
I don't know.
With good progress being made on our
hard to say.
Their monetary authority of Singapore license application, Ripple is more motivated than ever to pursue our vision of revolutionizing cross-border payments, developing tokenization solutions to solve real-world problems. Read about it here. And he says, we doubled our headcount in Singapore. Ripple continues to expand following the Monetary Authority of Singapore approval. 3 years into the law, see the as per Cornerstone Research. Geez, why do I have to see Gary's face? Jesus, I'm like sitting there trying to read the story. I got this butt nuts, in here. So who's this ass bag anyway? Talk about an ass bag. Here he is, right here. That's your boy, Gary Gensler. SEC, SEC filed 24 crypto-related cases this year alone, and the only one anybody cares about is the one where they lost. I like how they're like, oh, but it's a partial victory and a win and this and that, Jeff. You imagine they say like it's a partial victory?
That. They definitely claim the partial victory. They're still parading the partial victory around. And Gary's Gary. Can you imagine 24 cases? 24 cases.
Well, the only one everyone knows is Ripple, the one that Ripple won. Now, Jeff, on that last note about the SEC, waving the hurrah flag like we won. I saw Crypto Eddie tweet this out. I really thought it was parody because there's no way this can be real, right? Wait, what's this? Here we go. Andrew Ceresney named American Lawyers Litigator of the Week for the landmark cryptocurrency win. You're probably asking yourself, geez, what landmark cryptocurrency win did the SEC win, Jeff? Well, the Voice and Plimpton LLP partner Andrew Ceresney's been ready to week win on behalf of Ripple Labs. I'm sorry, that's not the SEC. That's the anyway. Sorry about that. For some reason, I thought this was the way I saw this written up originally was Ceresney was on Ripple's team, right? What the hell's going on here, Jeff? Really dismissed SEC. Garlinghouse since 46. What in the hell?
Following years of complex litigation
Yeah, this is the one. Sorry, when I saw the original tweet of this, I thought it was written up in a way that said the SEC won, and we're like, but Ceresney was on Ripple's team, right?
Yeah. So this is
he got Litigator of the week, because I was like, the original. I saw someone tweet about it saying the SEC is celebrating with Litigator of the week, but I'm like, wait a minute, that's not Ceresney. So there you go. He won Litigator of the week for the landmark cryptocurrency win. And they go on to talk a little bit about this. The voice team also Mary Jo White, who was also SEC as well. Christopher, but there were some other folks on there too, but he was the one that actually litigated it. But there were some other professionals, I think, early days. Should have got a lot of credit for those early hearings, Jeff, right?
Yeah, I like this last statement here too. For many years now, digital asset industry has been grappling with uncertainty over the regulatory status of the fundamental basis of the industry as a whole. Last week's decision signals that there's a way to engage in digital asset transactions without implicating securities law. It also paves the way for potential winning arguments in pending cases for digital asset exchange issuers and other market participants, and offers a glimmer of hope for the industry, which could have faced an existential threat. Gary, and who's that other guy? Oh yeah, Charlie Gasparino. Charlie, maybe you should read the attorney's outcome of the ruling,
right?
And then write your article based off of that instead of some mockery of an article that you published in the New York Post. I mean, you've now belittled yourself and the opinion of everybody in the industry. Read your article and said this guy doesn't even research and just writes because he wants to be sensational. Read this outcome and commentary from the attorneys that were actually litigating the case, and ask them, about the outcome. I get you want to be neutral, then talk to Hogan, talk to Deaton, talk to all these other attorneys out there before making any kind of statement.
Well, also too, if the SEC was parading around and is so excited about this, how come their name didn't show up on the win category here? If every article I saw was like, oh, the SEC won, wait a minute, Jeff, this isn't about the SEC at all, but we were told that they won, Jeff. We were told, how can this not be an article? How can this not be an SEC attorney getting Litigator of the week? We were told that they won, and they won big. Charlie Gasparino told us they won big, but wait, what? They're giving the win and the case with Ripple. Why? Because the big win was never about whether or not they sold 700 million, whatever it was, million, these, on the investment contract to institutional buyers. So I was like, okay, so that's the funny thing about this whole thing. It's incredibly bizarre to me. Incredibly bizarre. They won though, Jeff. We were told they won, and they won big. Here's another one. Let's play this video here. Let me go ahead and cue this puppy up.
And X.com. The next article Charlie writes is going to be about X.com and Ripple partnership.
Will it be? You're probably right about that, Jeff. It's hard to understand like really what his next move is going to be. Let me see here. Here it is right here.
He should have factored Ethereum. He should have used Ethereum as an example and left the other judge out of it and the other case out of it. That undermined any authority that he might have had with his article, even though the article was wrong.
So this is from the Digital Pound Foundation. We speak with Ripple about the benefits of introducing digital currencies globally, fostering innovation, financial inclusion, payment efficiency, and environmental resources. Watch the full interview. This is Susan Friedman right here, but let's just watch a little bit of this. This is a small clip. Hang on a second. What is going on here?
Oh, by the way, Mr. B, XRP reached out to us about the steak dinner.
He did. Yeah, absolutely did.
Congratulated us on our victory.
Yes.
And reached out on a planning of how we are going to get this steak dinner done.
Big man did the right thing. Here we go. Why is this so delayed? I don't know what's going on. I'm clicking buttons and nothing's happening.
Will help to increase access to financial services for under and unbanked populations, and also encourage, or I should say, enhance direct person-to-person payments. We think that the initiatives will help to enhance existing payment infrastructures. Digital currencies can help increase the speed and efficiency of payments. We think that the initiatives generally will help to foster innovation. So using digital features like smart contracts and programmable money will be the basis of new financial services. We also think there's an opportunity for digital currencies to help reduce energy use and environmental resources by presumably phasing out the printing of paper money and the minting of coins. So we think that there are we see a lot of different threads being fostered by the development of digital currencies. At the same time, we recognize that central banks are really grappling with how to encourage these while also maintaining financial stability and control of their monetary systems. And this comes back to, as different countries work on different initiatives, ensuring that we're not building walled gardens, that there's interoperability between currencies, that currencies can flow freely between countries and do so in a way that allows, that maintains financial stability will really be, at the heart of the challenge ahead for all countries considering CBDCs.
Well, she forgot to mention the most important one, Jeff, is about control, about the programmable. She said programmable, but what she forgot to say is how it'll control people. Like, for example, you're trying to buy ammo. We don't believe in that, Jeff. We can't have you stocking up on ammo if if for some weird odd reason that we don't want you to have it. Didn't mention that. Programmable is the best way they can say that. Then we have this one from Antony, and that is how you say his name. His name is Antony. But Antony Welfare over there at Ripple too. Let's put this one up here.
Forgot the H.
Yep. I want to buy him an H. Can we buy him an H? Put it right there. Anthony. I think what I'll do in like a future one is I'll just mock it up so it'll say Anthony. And I'll say,
is that really his last name? Is his last name really Welfare?
It really is Welfare.
Man.
He's
Anthony
enterprise
Welfare.
blockchain. Yeah. So he's a CBDC advisor to Ripple. At Ripple, I should say, author, commercializing blockchain, my own views. Again, his own views. So in case you say the wrong thing, they were my views, not Ripple's views. We wrote this, he said, and this one's actually pretty cool. This one's getting exciting. We covered this a while ago, but it's cool to start seeing it coming mainstream. But he said, real world adoption in action, the XRPL, NFTs, and Ducati, embracing the power of blockchain technology. Cool. The sequence of digital collectibles will vividly narrate the legendary journey of the Ducati brand. Collection will be hosted on the XRP ledger, an energy efficient, decentralized, and open source layer 1 blockchain powered by a dynamic global developer community. And would this be a good time to mention that the badass Yetis are over there on the XRPL? First digital collectible to be unveiled by the Bologna X manufacturer is engaging video sequence showcasing the evolution of Ducati logos, adorning the tanks of motorcycles produced in Borgo Panigale, spanning from 1946 to present day. And boy, did I trip up on some of that. We're all buying Ducatis. Buy Ducati. And,
with XRP.
With XRP, no doubt,
not only are they putting their NFTs out there, but we're going to have an opportunity to buy a Ducati with
there
XRP.
It is, right.
That's next up. Let's see.
Ducati list off a wait list for Web3 digital collectibles with the ledger right there. And there you go. So I'll be featuring the gas tanks there. Digital collectibles seeks to open the doors to Borgo Panigale. I don't even know how to say that, Jeff. Ever than before, allowing motorcyclists, racing enthusiasts, and tech aficionados to delve into that universe. And then, let's see, the first digital collectible will be unveiled. Oh, that we already read that. I'm trying to get to something we haven't read here, man. Let's see. I thought they had. Did they actually have the collection here? You can get on the wait list right there. So I'll drop that in there, guys, if you're interested in getting on the Ducati wait list. And if you're really interested, Jeff, why don't you drop the...
It says for the Ducati NFT or the Ducati?
Yeah, the
Ducati with XRP.
Well, it says be the first to know about the Web3 journey for all the Ducatis.
Sweet.
Which means, yeah.
Definitely want to know.
Digital collectible partner with Web3 Pro and XRP Ledger, showcasing Ducati's history and present. The launch of this inaugural free digital collectible is set for July 26th. And everybody can register here at web3.ducati. got to do that, Jeff, and we'll leave that up so everybody can. It's not the same one, the same forum yet. It's the same one. I just want to double
Are you
check.
guys doing a Ducati giveaway for the channel? Yeah. That's what we're going to be doing. Yeah, a Ducati giveaway. No. If Ducati offered one and said, hey, you guys want to do a Ducati giveaway on the channel, we'd be like, hell yeah, we'll do it.
It'd be interesting to see how they do this. Like, how are they going to do it? Are they going to assign you a wallet? And like, where is it going to be? They named this other partner here, but where is it going to be? Launch of this, register privilege access, forthcoming releases part of this project. Those who join the platform after can still. So you basically want to get involved with this. You want to go ahead and put your details in there. It's free, man. So if you don't have an NFT on the XRPL, guess what? Here's a shot at getting a free one. Or the next time we do a Badass Yeti giveaway. So there you go. Fantastic news.
That's awesome.
I mean, there's so much great Ripple news, man. It's just incredible,
cool
all the stuff going on.
While you're doing that, let me there were some good commentaries here. DK said Gary didn't even put out one of his cringy PR videos. He can't have one. He should have had an office hours on it. Matt LaRoche said normally if they win, doesn't the SEC put out tweets and stars around it, like 10 million per star? They do all that crazy stuff. And Ani is here with us tonight too. We haven't seen Ani in forever. She was on the other night or the other day, or was that yesterday or Wednesday? Or
I think I think I saw her on with Deaton. That was like the thing. She came back. She came back to the OTC. We were actually fortunate enough to meet in person a couple years ago.
That's true. We did over at that meetup in Miami. And John Bob said, I've been listening for years. First time listening live. Whoa. Thanks for all the hard work. How do you like that? We got someone listening live for the first time. Hang on a
second, Jeff. That deserves something right there. I got to get this out. Hang on. Let me just get it ready. Let me cue it up. I can't. We have so many things. I don't even know where the. Well, while we look for that, that's kind of where we're at right now. But I'm trying to find the where's the wind up, and it's not this one. No, it's not that one. Jeff, looking. I don't even know where it is. I don't even. Yeah, I can't even find it. Here it is. Ready, Jeff? This is what we get watching live. Ready? Put that tweet. Put that comment back up on the screen.
Find it again. Hang on.
See if we can find it, Jeff. Watch it live here.
John.
Live show. John Bob.
There you go. There he is.
Ready?
Thanks for all the hard work.
Get the air guitar ready, Jeff. Get the air guitar ready. Ready?
Ready?
Let's go.
Ready?
Yeah. All right. I like somebody said a long time listener, first time caller.
Long time listener.
First time caller. Hey, you gotta love that. It's beautiful. John Deaton had this to say. Who put this up? Oh, it was Mac Attack put up the whole idea of he tweeted out this article here where the SEC, this is what we've heard. Oh, come on, man. Come on now.
Come on now. You know that thing.
You know the thing, Jeff. Yeah, here it is right here. Sorry. Tweeted out about this article about the SEC here. The SEC. It's going out the buttons. How many times do I have to hit it?
Hit it.
U.S. SEC hints at appeal in Ripple lawsuit. Setback for XRP.
Right. You know who's on that case? Gasparino's on that case. Man, he's writing all about that.
John Deaton had this to say: an appeal is not even close to being a setback. First, it will be 2 years from now before decisions issued by the second court. If it's appealed, then the Torres decision is the law until then, at least until the Second Circuit. Second, if the Second Circuit said Torres was wrong regarding her application of the third Howey factor, which I predict they will not, that doesn't mean the SEC wins on programmatic sales. Those are sales on exchanges. All that happens is that Torres then applies the other two factors and could likely still rule the same exact way, concluding that the SEC didn't satisfy the common enterprise factor, which is more difficult factor to meet, in my opinion, than the third factor. So don't let anybody underestimate how significant this win is for XRP and XRP holders and Ripple. Boom, Jeff. What do you think about that?
What do I think about that?
Boom!
Boom, baby. That's a big boom, Jeff.
That's what I think about that.
Yay.
Yay. And so this, Jeff, Ianbins tweeted this one out here. This one here is Ripple applies for crypto license in the United Kingdom. Ripple applied for registration as a crypto asset firm with the United Kingdom's Financial Conduct Authority after its, of course, Jeff, partial win. Partial win. Who wrote this? Of course, is this Cointelegraph? Of course it is. Cointelegraph has the story. Partial win. These people cannot handle it. It's a massive win. It's a massive win here. Look, here it is. There's a license right there being filed. Look at the license. See
That's
it?
legit. That's legit right there.
Totally legit.
It's the FCA.
Registration was submitted after Ripple's partial win against the United States Securities and Exchange Commission over the classification of its XRP. Dude, it was a massive win. Decision viewed as a win by Ripple and the broader community considered the XRP token a security when sold to institutional investors, but not to retail. It's just, do these people understand? They go like, but in this case, it was sold as an institution. But in this case, it was sold. Yeah, but if you follow the law and the faithfulness to the law, the way that it's written, the way that, especially how we test being the existing way we tell about securities, is the way it's packaged. If it's packaged up and sold via an investment contract with the expectation of profit, hello, Howie. If it's a blind bid and nobody knows who they're buying it from, goodbye, Howie, right? You don't have all those. And he's right about Deaton saying about the fact that it's not just that one, it's the two other prongs. So you knock that one out, the other two still stands tall.
Right. We're going to throw lemons at them. What we do.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with my lemon tree back there. Put some lemons too.
We need some lemons on the lemon trees.
Here's a tweet.
A victory for the entire industry, Chip.
This came out at 3:44 on July 13th when the ruling came out. XRP is not a security. So that's all you really need to know. This victory for Ripple is a win for the entire industry and a step towards regulatory clarity in the U.S. Huge thanks to Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, Stuart Alderoty for their leadership, and the XRP community for their continued support. Damn straight. We did it, people. And they can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth, Jeff. We got to get that one. You can't handle the truth. Jack Nicholson saying that. That's just great. It is funny though. You have to admit it's a little bit funny, right?
So Tom is saying Gasparino's wife owns a company called what's that say? Cobblecord. It's a streaming service. Never heard of it, but somehow it makes $5 million a year.
And geez, who's it funded by? The people that Charlie's
by Charlie.
There's all kinds of stuff going on. He calls him the way he sees him. Well, when he used to have John Deaton on, he was thinking about, hey, Ripple could win this. Of course, he betted against it and he lost. Who was it that had that in the chat earlier saying that he would probably welch on the bet? I think Alchemist said he's going to welch on the bet. Let me see if I can find that.
Might already have. Malaro said,
sorry, let me just put this up first. Yes, he's going to welch on the bet. You heard it from Alchemist. Let's see if that actually happens. Go ahead, put the Matt LaRoche up there.
Institutional sales issue. I'm sure a workaround will be created using an anonymous third party, maybe in a blind auction kind of way. I think Susan Athey had an auction function idea back a while back sometime. I don't know who Susan is. Who's Susan Athey? We know Susan Athey.
I think that name sounds not familiar. Susan Athey.
Hey, Gary's here. Gary's
here.
Case is saying the big question is why does the institutions care so much that they would downplay Ripple's V-Day?
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point, Case. Why the hell would they? No, I remember Susan Athey was on a string of those videos where they were doing those lives and she was like commenting on stuff. That's where I remember seeing her.
Oh, there we go.
She's a professor over at the economics technology professor at Stanford.
That's who that is.
If I'm thinking of the right person, I mean, she's an American economist. There you go.
Gary never gets your live, not even now. He's not even here with us live.
There's so many people here that are live. It's so great to have you with us that are live. Live, baby.
It's awesome when you make it live.
As we prep for the entire
Get to interact live with somebody. Who knows where they are? We don't even know. Don't know. We know Mike Maralta was walking around the grocery store. We had John Bob was brand new to the live stream. Gary never gets to listen live. All these people are running in here. Very cool stuff going on.
Very cool, man. And this one here, let's get to this one.
Help develop the XRP price calculator.
Okay, well, there you go. Thanks for thank you, Jackie, for letting us know that. That name was there. I just don't know. So this one here, Warren Davidson, who, by the way, you can watch our interview with him. There's an abridged version that's like it's 15 minutes long. It's just the hits, man. All the good stuff. So here we go. This is Warren Davidson. The Federal Reserve is building the equivalent of the Death Star. Geez, I wonder if we need to send Warren Davidson two of our shirts, Jeff. For the whole Star Wars tie-in, right? I mean, there's got to be something around that. I'm sure the brilliant community come up with another cool shirt about that. And would you know whose face is on the Death Star? Gary's, because it gets blown up. Sorry, spoiler alert. Is it too soon, Jeff? It did come out in 1977. I think we're in good shape there. But central bank digital currencies corrupts money into a tool for coercion and control. Congress must swiftly ban, then criminalize any effort to design, build, develop, or test, or establish a CBDC. And here's a job on Indeed: senior crypto architect, central bank digital currency. Where, Jeff? The Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco.
Very cool.
Pay starts at $135K a year. So you can be a senior crypto architect. It, of course, has nothing to do with crypto, but let's play into the whole illusion that it's a cryptocurrency.
Let's pretend. And then
blockchain architect, maybe. But
notice it's in San Francisco. They're dying to get people to come back to San Francisco.
Nobody wants
or
to go.
Fleeing. Nobody wants to go to San Francisco. Everyone's leaving, and they're trying to figure out how to get people back. They should really probably, San Francisco, 134,000. They probably need to double or triple that salary.
Yeah, you would think, right? Okay, so he actually provided it's so funny. He said it may not stay up, but here's the link. I want to actually go to this link and see if it's actually if it's actually live here. Let's see. Let's see if it's still on Indeed. Let's see. Drum roll, please, Jeff. Drum roll, please. And
then you have to share your screen.
Yep, I will.
Do the drum roll. Ready?
Yep,
Ready?
Yep.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Oh.
There it is. Senior crypto architect. Federal Reserve Bank, as part of the Federal Reserve's mission to promote accessible, safe, and efficient systems to control your entire life, to facilitate dollar transactions. Who can even get through reading this, Jeff? This is already too much. I'm already.
At least CBDCs and capitals.
Implement novel systems related to central bank digital currency, translate functional, non-functional design requirements, sufficient control systems to programmatically control people, identify, communicate, and mitigate risks, assumptions, issues, decisions throughout the entire life cycle. What life cycle? Do these people over there at the Federal Reserve understand that the fact that they're even trying to move forward with this is a laughing stock? Because first of all, none of this can go forward without Congress's approval, and there's no appetite in the House. I doubt there's even any appetite in the Senate at this point. So why would you be hiring for something that isn't even feasible today? It makes no sense, Jeff.
We've had Ian's been here since the beginning of the COVID lockdowns. He found XRP sitting around. So what should I do? I'm going to invest in XRP.
That's awesome. Jeff, look at your mom. Jeff and Chip are my favorite crypto nerds. Joe Rogan, your mom. It's so funny, your mom.
Your mom.
Yeah, that's great. Maxis and their sour lemons. Yeah, same thing. It's that time, Jeff. We got to bid you farewell, and we enjoyed the show. And farewell. We gotta go.
Song. What's that song? farewell. Ba, 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 ba.
So
So anyhow, the show is brought to you by the Badass Yetis. This happens to be the Noir Symphony. This coffee is amazing. Go to badassyetis.com, badassyetis.com. Go check it out. This coffee, when you order it, it's roasted. Gets roasted, shipped out the next day. So every bag you get is beautifully packaged, fresh. Awesome coffee. We love it. You get a couple varieties to choose from. If you like super, super dark roast, go with the Obsidian. If you like more, you like it dark, but you want something great, not as dark, go with the Noir Symphony. And then if you like something that's more of a medium, you can go with the Mountain Mist. And then if you like more of a light to medium, more medium-ish, it's a breakfast blend. And it's awesome because it's called Brewed Awakening. You can go all whole bean. We always recommend go whole bean because whole bean is awesome. Love the whole bean. But if you have to get a pre-ground, they'll actually roast it, grind it to your specification. There's a couple grind options, and then ship it. And then if you said, hey, you know what? I threw out my coffee maker long ago. All I have is a Keurig. Well, you can order K-Cups. That's how cool the Badass Yetis are.
K-Cups come there, and also too, you can also hit me up too, and I'll tell you how I do it. I have the refillables with the little filters that go in there, and I got a little tool that I scoop it, and it goes right into there in one shot. And because I use the Keurig as well on the strong side, and there you go. There you go. The Brewed Awakening. Unleash your inner Yeti every morning with our invigorating breakfast blend. And ask Mike Marat. He is in the chat. He has tweeted so many great things about it. He sent a tweet out earlier today that he loves the Badass Yetis. By the way, a longtime friend, college buddy of mine.
Right now.
I've been asking him. I was like, dude, I haven't heard back from you as far as about the Badass Yetis. And he said, yeah, we'll have international soon. Jeff, how soon to international? Do we have that set up yet? I thought we were working on getting that set up.
Yeah, just one more thing to do, and we'll be
okay.
ready
We're almost there, guys. So we're almost international. But yeah, the Badass Yetis coffee, because it is roasted and then sent. If you've never tasted fresh roasted coffee, especially this, like Jeff and I are coffee snobs, so it's like I'm telling you, man, we roast it and then we send it, and that's how it is. So the order comes in, gets roasted that day, gets packaged and sent out to you. So you're getting something within a week, within a couple of days, that is fresh roasted coffee, and it is delicious, man.
anything in the U.S. I believe Hawaii and Alaska's on that, but I believe all of the U.S. is free shipping.
Yeah, in the U.S. is free shipping. Of course, outside of the U.S. a different story. But again, it's a pass-through cost. We don't make any money on that. We don't want to make any money. We want to get as many people as we can, because again. So I finally heard back from my buddy, and he's like, holy crap, this Badass coffee is great, blowing away anything we've tried. And I'm like, he's like, you're right. It's on a different level. And these are two coffee snobs. He and his wife are coffee snobs, but they had to go through their other stuff first. There's Mike right there. It rocks. I promise. It's the best. It is phenomenally good coffee. So anyway, we're proud to put our name on it. The Badass Yetis anyway. So Badass Yetis also coming, guys. A lot of you had expressed interest on going on Super Mojo. We think within the next week or so, we will be live on Super Mojo, which is great, really exciting, because we follow Craig DeWitt's journey from, you know him on Twitter as Crypto Cowboy. I almost said X, Jeff, but it's Twitter still. But you know him as Crypto Cowboy. And you also know that he's been on the show. And he, talked about Super Mojo. So how cool is it to be partnering with them? And we can't wait to roll that out. You'll be able to go to a page. You'll be able to click buy. You'll put your details in, and it'll buy it with fiat currency. The next page, you'll have your Yeti just like that. And you can put that Yeti and wear it proudly on all of your socials or here inside here. But it's exciting. And cost-wise, I think you guys are pretty happy about it. So. It's going to be
awesome. By the way, Gary roasts his own coffee too. It's thrown out there. DM us.
By the way, Gary, thank you for that, man. You did send us something. We do appreciate it. We did read that. Unfortunately, Jeff and I got tied up with some other stuff, but I think we will take you up on your offer. We should do an official trade. We'll send you a bag. You send us a bag. Let's enjoy each other's phenomenal coffee. So we'll have to do that. Jeff, make a note to do that. Jeff. Note the,
I made the note.
That was cool. They wrote to us and put that offer for us. So thank you, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it. That's it. That's all we have, Jeff. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
What do we have to say? Go check out Badass Yetis over on XRP.cafe. We will be dropping the White Tribe soon. The White Tribe is going to be exciting. And if you own Blue Tribe, you're getting some White Tribe. So that is also very cool. A lot of great things happening there. That's going to be exciting. The clans within the White Tribe are awesome. So check it out. Well, you can't check that out yet, but check out the Blue Tribe again. And that's all we got. We'll be back here Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just like we were tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Badass Yetis are badass.
Badass. They are badass. And we're working on some other exciting things. You mentioned the White Tribe. What's cool about the White Tribe? The White Tribe is going to be fun. Let's put that. The White Tribe is going to be really fun. I think you guys are really going to enjoy the White Tribe. And just know that the Blue Tribe is rare. Rare commands a solid price point. There's a lot of things about the Blue Tribe that will not be present in the White Tribe, but then things in the White Tribe that won't be present in the Blue. But Jeff and I are having an absolute blast with this. Fun building something on a project on the XRPL. Fun turning it into a brand. And we continue to add utility to it. If you own Badass Yetis, you do get discounts. So join our Discord, and even if you don't own one, there's a lot of good conversations that happen in there. You don't have to have a Yeti to go join. If you do, you can get your Yetis verified. If you own 1, 2, 3, 6, whatever. But go ahead and join the Discord. It's on the back. Go to @Badass Yetis. You'll see it there. But that's all we have. See you guys on the next one. Chip and Jeff. Oh, see you guys.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.